More proof that Jesus is Jehovah. Are you ready? Okay. Psalm 68:18. Psalm 68:18. Guys, pay attention. It's about Jehovah again. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts for men. Yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God, Jehovah God, might dwell among them. Did you catch it? Did you catch what Psalm 68:18 says? Jehovah, you ascended on high, and you took captives with you. And then you bestowed gifts upon men when you ascended on high, right? Psalm 68:18, right? That Jehovah God, the Lord God, might dwell among them. So you catch it? Do you guys see it here, right? This is talking about Jehovah God, right? Who ascended on high? Who took captivity captive? Who received gifts from men to bestow it on men? The Lord God, Jehovah, correct? You guys see it? That's Psalm 68:18. Now, let's go to Jeremiah 23 to 24. Who fills heaven and earth with his presence? Not his physical presence, because God is spirit. But that the entire creation, right, is present before him, and he oversees every part of creation, and it's under his control. Jeremiah 23, verses 23 to 24. Jeremiah 23, 24. Who fills heaven and earth? Who is near and far, eminent within creation, interacting with creatures, and above creation? Jeremiah 23, 25. Am I a God at hand, saith Jehovah the Lord, and not a God afar off? Now notice what it says in verse 24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith Jehovah the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith Jehovah? So Jehovah says, I fill heaven and earth so that wherever you're at, you're before me. You can't escape me because the entire creation is present before me. I fill heaven and earth. You guys catch it? Jehovah ascended on high, took captivity captive, received gifts from men to bestow it on men. Jehovah fills heaven and earth because he's both near and far, the entire creation being present before him. Is that clear? Who fills heaven and earth? Jehovah. Who ascended on high? Jehovah. Who took captivity captive? Jehovah, right? You guys see that? Okay, now let's go to Ephesians 4, 7 to 10. Ephesians 4, 7 to 10. Jehovah, Yahweh. Ephesians 4, 7 to 10. Notice the psalm we just read. Notice what Paul's going to do with that psalm that we just read. Psalm 68:18. Watch this. Watch this. Ephesians 4, 7 to 10. Guys, you got to read this. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. So notice he's talking about Christ, not the Father. Of Christ. Right? Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts to men. See, he just quoted Psalm 68:18. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. Did you catch what Paul just did? He just said Jesus Christ is the one that the psalmist was speaking about when he said he ascended on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. He took that psalm and applied it to Christ, saying Jesus is that one that Psalm 68:18 is speaking of, and Jesus ascended to the lower parts of the earth and ascended above the heavens so that he could fill all things. So Paul just identified Jesus as Jehovah God of Psalm 68:18, who ascended on high, and then took the very language of Jeremiah 23, where Jehovah says, I fill heaven and earth, and ascribed it to Jesus. Jesus is Jehovah, who fills all things, heaven and earth. He descended to the earth, ascended above the heavens. He fills heaven and earth, fills all things with his presence, and bestows men on earth with his gifts, because he is the Jehovah who ascended on high, the Jehovah spoken of in Psalm 68:18. You see what Paul just did? Do you see what Paul just did? He's basically telling you guys, hey folks, Psalm 68:18, that Jehovah God who ascended on high, took captivity captive, received gifts from men to bestow those gifts on his followers. That's Jesus. That's Christ. And then he also is telling you, hey, folks, when Jehovah says he fills heaven and earth, he fills all things, that's Jesus, that's Christ. Christ is that Jehovah.